Hey, this is Joe Price. I just wanted to create a video to show you how you can help grow the family tree for any place in the world. And I want to do it in the context of whether in a case where maybe someone in your family or one of your friends has been called to serve a mission and you want to help um, grow the family tree for the place where they'll be serving. And the reason I created this video is because my daughter just got called to the Montevideo-Uruguay mission. And as I've done with my other kids, I went right away on Family Search and started looking for ways to grow the tree for Uruguay. And so I'll show you how I did that. And also because my daughter Kaylana asked if she could help too. So this video is really kind of specifically for her, but you'll see that the process I'm going to show you could be used for any mission in the world. And the neat thing is if your family member or friend is already serving a mission, you can even do this for the surnames of the people whom they are serving, either people they're teaching or someone in their ward or a recent convert. These are all people that they could specifically grow the tree for that surname as a way to make it more likely that people will find their family. So let me share my screen. So the key thing happens here on the search records page. So when you're in Family Search, you'll hit search and then records. And you have lots of different ways to search, but in this case, I'm just going to search for the city where she'll be serving. Now, obviously, she'll be serving in other cities, but this gives me a place to start. And you can see here that we have 6 million records. And let me show you what some of the different icons represent. So if we scroll down, there's this icon right here. That means that this person is on the family tree and attached to this record. Okay, so that's great. You can go take a look at it if you wanted. You can open a new link and you can see this person. Go here, you can go to the person page and maybe there'll be other hints. You can see there's another hint there and you could do that. Okay. The other icon to watch for is this one here. Let's see, well, hopefully, let's see if we can find one. Okay, we're scrolling down right there. It's this one that looks like a person's head, and there's another one right there. So in this case, you would right click on it and open it in a new window. Okay, and it's going to take you right into Source Linker. And here in Source Linker, you have to decide if it's a match. Now, this is really cool. You see in Uruguay, they have two last names, one from their father, one from their mother. As you can see here. So on the right is Walter Emilio Magallanes Pastorino with his parents. And over here is someone with that exact same name in a death record. So over here, we knew his birth. Notice the year matches up, and he died here in Uruguay. So we can go boom, there. And so now we've actually just added some new information to Walter and attached a source. And if we come in here, we can then see that sometimes maybe there'll be other sources to attach for him. The other thing we can do is take a look at his parents, and maybe they have some other things we could do. So that was that one. Let's try another one right here. If we click on this, so again, you can see here, we have lots of good information lining up really well. And so this time we're not adding a lot of information, but we are attaching a source. And then if we come in here, then maybe they might have other sources, or if we click on one of the parents, there might be other things we could do for this family. So you can see there's several record hints right here. And so you might spend a little bit of time working on this family, connecting all the kids together, making it more complete. And then the cool thing is that if I were to hit refresh then and go back down to where I was, those icons that were little heads before, they will appear as attached. So right around here, here's Walter. You can see now that it's an attached. So this makes it great because if you have a lot of people working on the same record collection, it'll keep track of which ones are done already. Okay. Now, obviously, it's overwhelming to think about doing, 6 million, but this is where it gets fun. Is maybe pick a certain surname. And so obviously, once your family or friend is in the mission field, you could have them send you surnames in an email. They could say, oh, so-and-so is preparing to go to the temple, or so-and-so is someone new that we're teaching. And what I did, since my daughter's not in Uruguay already, is I went on Wikipedia and I just looked for famous people in Uruguay. And so let's just pick one of these surnames. And a lot of these people are still alive, but it was really just to give me some practice with working with surnames. And the other cool thing about doing this for famous people is that maybe in the future, there'd be a relatives around me or a relative finder in Uruguay that people might want to see how they're related to different artists or athletes or politicians. Okay. So notice that when I put in the last name, it narrows it down quite a bit, and I can narrow it down even more if I make it exact. And you might not want to make it exact, but here, notice now I'm down to about 500. That's much more manageable. And so again, here's a hint. If I scroll down, there's a hint, there's a hint, there's a hint, there's a hint. Okay, so I could just hint, hint, hint. You can see that I could start working on these hints. And the thing I really love about working on a specific surname is that all the families start to connect together. Now, one last thing I just want to show you is that once you've worked through the hints, you could also maybe start to add some families to the tree, but I'll probably just show that in a different video, though this would be a good example right here. Do you see how there's no icon right here? That means this person's, they may be on the tree, but Family Search doesn't know where they are or doesn't have a hint to them. And so maybe we could put her on the family tree, and I'll show that in a separate video. But I just wanted you to see that probably the best place to start is just by working on these hints. And again, you right click, open in a new tab. Here you are in Source Linker. You have to make a decision if it's a match. Sometimes it's hard to tell. If you're not sure, then I would just skip it. Okay. Cool thing is that anytime you're working on a person, you can also go to their person page, see maybe if there's other hints for this family, and maybe that'll help put in context the information so that you might feel more confident about a certain hint. I find that sometimes if I do hints in the right order, then everything seems to work out. Okay, so I hope you have a great experience working on this. Again, I think it helps just to pick a specific place, pick a surname, and then as you start to work on it, you might figure out which record collections are the easiest to work with, but this can be a really great experience and a great way to grow the family tree.